Rising from the Ashes, a series of programs produced by the Government Information Unit.
Rebuilding, redeveloping, we moving on.
The Soufriere Hills volcano has taken many memories, treasures and significant landmarks away from the people of Montserrat. From the popular liming spots at Evergreen Roundabout and the Bayfront, to the big tamarind tree at the St. Anthony's Anglican Church, to the multi-purpose church park, where we enjoyed many a cricket match and the splendor, mass and pageantry of our year-end Christmas festival. Now fast forward to 2007, where a massive program of rebuilding Montserrat is taking place in the northern part of the island. From the construction of new government houses and offices to brand new banking facilities and a state-of-the-art cultural center, Montserrat is rising from the ashes. This new push of development by the Lower Lewis administration shows the government's commitment to ensuring a viable Montserrat, which will allow its citizens to enjoy improved yet similar amenities like those which existed in Plymouth before the volcanic situation. Among the significant projects which have been undertaken by the government is the creation of a multi-purpose facility at Little Bay, which will be the home for a number of leisure activities, including athletics and cricket. Work on the facility is progressing swiftly, with major focus on the creation of 4 cricket pitches. The involvement of the Montserrat Cricket Association by the government in this venture reflects a great public-private partnership at work. Now we caught up with the key man who has been overseeing the preparation and creation of the 4 cricket pitches at Little Bay. He's a retired cricket umpire and Montserrat cricketing legend, Mr. Basil Morgan. Now he gave us a detailed and passionate explanation of the work being carried out.
What we're doing today is actually planting the grass, going through more or less the final process. We have already built the foundation, which was dug at 4 feet deep, with 2 feet of rock, then some 10 inches of sand. After that, 24 inches of processed clay. And at this moment now, we raked it. We called in the agriculture department with their scarifier and the public works department, and we all fined up this clay. And today what we're doing is actually putting in the grass on top of the cricket pitch square.
With his team of dedicated workers, Basil has personally guaranteed that the final product will put the cricket pitches on Montserrat among some of the best in the world.
I'm excited in that it's the first pitch that's going to be built in this area. My only hope that it's what I pray for. I'm a prayerful person. Every day I come here, I have a prayer with this, what we are doing, and it's my hope that we produce one of the, as I pray and ask God for, one of the finest cricket pitches, not only in the region, but in the entire world. And we have loads of people who are assisting me, in terms of ensuring that everything goes right here. So with God's help, I think that everything should be okay. And I want to think that we will get a fine cricket pitch. What we have put in so far, to me, ensures that we will get a quality cricket pitch.
Now Basil's passion for the game of cricket spans 45 years, and he has been involved in most areas of the sport. And it's that passion which spurred the retired umpire into getting involved in the rebuilding of a major cricket playing facility on Montserrat.
I have been responsible in building or assisting in building many cricket pitches. The last one that I built or supervised was at Salem. At this moment, I say thank you to people like a gentleman in Harris is called Dick Farrell and Fitzroy Buffong's grandfather, Fenton Buffong, and later on to Theodore Bamble and John Barley Mason. It was Theodore who actually I got the ingredients from. He's the man who actually embedded into me the art of preparing and making cricket pitches. So I hope that this thing turns out to be an excellent cricket pitch, because it's a lot of teamwork that is put and effort has been put into this thing here.
And he's full of praise for his team of dedicated workers, who he reckons are some of the hardest working people on Montserrat.
The senior person who's planting the grass, Mr. Fred Harris, he was brought here by the president of the Cricket Association. I'm told that he has 45 years of experience of gardening. He's the senior man planting the grass. But I have one of the hardest workers on Montserrat, A chap was working with me at Sturge Park. A chap was working with me at the sailing park. Everybody knew him as Babut. John Weeks, excellent worker. And Julius McPherson, Jason Peters, Montserrat wicketkeeper, and a young lady called Yvette Bob. And they all combine together to make sure that this work is done properly. And I tell you, sometimes these people work through the lunch hour. You know, in the hot sun. You know, especially lady, I'm so happy for them. You know, every day I said to them, you all are working too hard, you know. And their response is, boss man, you want the work done. So I said, listen, you work well today, you feel well tomorrow. Okay.
As with any project, there's always the worry about will it be completed on time and within budget. And Basil's comforting words to everyone are, don't worry, the work will be completed in record time because of the use of new techniques during the varying stages of creating the cricket pitches.
To complete the grass planting, we should finish today. But maintenance is what is the key word here now. You have to be watering the grass, fertilizing. The whole process of building a cricket pitch normally takes 4 months. Now, in this case, it might take 3 months for the simple reason that we had everything compact. I mean, meaning that when we dug the square for 90 by 40, we would have, by 44, excuse me, we would have had to put, we put stones at the bottom. Normally, people would have come and just put stones without compacting them. What we did is that we put 2 feet of stones, hard rock stones, and we had Public Works, thanks to the Public Works crew, Mr. Thornhill and the boys at Public Works. The JCB or the high mark would come and more or less vibrate those stones down into the ground. So before time, that was not the process. Before time, you would come and store the stones and allow the stone just to settle by itself. Now, that would have taken a longer time for the whole pitch to settle in. But because it's compact, that extra month, the 4 months that we would have taken some years ago, we take I'm not guessing. I am talking to the pundits. I'm talking to people like Andy Robertson, Antigua, who's also a pitch curator. He tells me that's exactly what I'm thinking about. He tells me, go ahead with that. I mean, that 4 months, no, because that is compacted, take away that 1 month, and in 3 months, 3.5 months, you should be okay.
But with his umpiring days behind him, as Basil is now retired, one still wonders what drives him to stay connected to the game he's grown to love and which has helped him carve out a successful and rewarding career. Basil says family, friends, and mentor keep him grounded, but the love and respect he gets from his peers drive his spirit.
And I was brought up in a village, Harris's, where that cricket was like a religion. As I said, we had the Bufongs. I'm referring to the older Bufongs and Dick Farrells, and of course my parents. And my father was a cricket fan, and I was well involved in cricket. I'm saying this to you and to the viewing audience that last Friday made me 45 years involved in cricket in this country, and that is and I'm not even 60 years yet. That is telling you that when I was 14 years of age, I was taken into Sturge Park to do scoring for Leeward Islands tournament. So this cricketing is within my system, because with all of the people who are around me, and as I said, people like the Theodore Brambles, the Percy White, the Red Horse, the Roy Thornhills, and these sort of people, and of course my workers. I want to, with all the efforts that have been put in it, I want to guarantee Montserrat, the region and the world, that we will have an excellent cricket pitch. With God's help, everything will be fine.
With Basil guaranteeing Montserrat 4 world-quality cricket pitches at Little Bay completed in record time, it's only fair for him to have a say in what should be the ideal cricket match that should debut on the pitches when they are done. And it's an interesting one.
Because of my association with international cricket and international cricketers, I have already been speaking to people like the great one, the West Indies captain, Brian Lara, who actually is a friend of mine. We were born in the same month, the glorious month of May. And he's a great friend of Arrow, he's a cricket fan. And he has given me a sort of assurance that, providing he has no other engagement, that he's going to be here and also Viv Richards to play on this pitch in the inaugural match. I am working alongside the Cricket Association to ensure that that happens. I mean, the government has to be involved because, I mean, these guys, they would come into work voluntarily or play voluntarily, but, I mean, in assisting them to get to Montserrat. My aim is to get, as I said, I've spoken to Brian, is to get the more or less like legends like Viv, Richie, Ambrose and the likes, Walsh. And I'm thinking about a great friend of mine who lives in the States, Alfred Corrett. I'd love if Jafla could be here. And of course...
Would you umpire that match?
Oh, certainly. And of course, I would like to have the great one. If even he cannot, I'll get emotional. Jim Allen. I love to have his presence here, even just to stand among the guys when we have this inaugural match. Even to hold a bat and stroke a ball. I want him to be part of it.
On this very service.
On this very service. Great Jim Allen, my neighbor, my friend, and my colleague in terms of we play together at the same Montserrat team. I love to have these guys with me and playing on this very first match against a Montserrat under 15 team.
Well, Basil, I know God will bless you with the goodness, the strength and health to ensure that happens. Thank you so much for talking to us. All the best with the work that you're doing here, and may God continue to bless you and the work goes well.
Mark, it's a pleasure talking and viewing audience and listening audience. It's been a pleasure to be involved in this setup here. And you all just pray for us that we have this thing work out properly. This cricket, not only the pitch, but the cricket facilities, because we have been bombarded with a lot of criticisms and so on, and we want to show the world that sports means a lot.
Rising from the Ashes, a series of programs produced by the Government Information Unit.
Rebuild